This is Blender, and I'm about to walk you through making this cool, awesome, futuristic kaleidoscope animation. And you can kind of see there's the wireframe of it. Wow, that looks different modes here. But the end product will look something like this. You can pick your own lights and your own stuff. The bottom is more of a floor, so if you're modeling for a game or something of that nature. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the tutorial. This is Blender. I'm going to walk through making a somewhat kaleidoscoping, neon lit, hallway transversing animation thing. It's going to be really cool, it'll be great for beginners, and it will get your feet wet in a lot of different aspects of what Blender has to offer. Alright, so let me go ahead and click General, and I'm not going to need this cube, so I'm going to do Object Delete. I won't need this light, I'm going to do Object Delete that as well. I'm going to hide my camera, okay? Now to start us off, I want to go to Add, Mesh, and Cylinder, okay? And for our cylinder, we're going to have 5 vertices for our cylinder. So that's looking good as well. And we just need to make sure this is going to be set to nothing. Awesome. We can click off. I'm going to go ahead now and let's get this rotated. So we need it 90 degrees there. And great. And let's go ahead and scale it up by 4, and 1.5. Nope, we're leaving this at 1. 4, and 1. Great. Let me see how that looks. That is looking awesome. All right. So now let's go ahead. Object. So actually what we want to do is we're going to add a modifier, and the modifier we want is going to be a solidifier. Right? And that's definitely not enough. 0.3. That's probably too much. 0.1 it is. Great. 0.1, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that. And now let's head into edit mode. All right. So here is the shape that we're going to be traveling through. I'm going to use my loop cut. Let's see if I can get the edge of it. There we are. We need one right like this. Perfect. And then we're going to need 1, and 1. The floor is going to be a bit different, so let's go ahead and do select faces. Okay. And then I'm going to do edge subdivide for the floor. Let's see. 4 is awesome for that. All right. And for the edges, let's go ahead and go into edge mode. I'm going to click here, 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 here. Just about there. Oh, and we're actually good because we're going to do something else with the floor. So what I'm going to do now is edge, bevel, and let's pull 0.15 is looking great. Okay. And so now let's start adding some insets. I need the face selection tool. And then I'm going to go over here to Inset. But when I click on Inset, I need to go over here and click Individual. We definitely want this to work individually. So, and now, should be able to kind of mush them down. And 0.06 is excellent. And then what I would want to do is go ahead and do scale. .93, .93, .93. Great. I'm going to go ahead and click off. And now I'm going to click this and this. And edge, face, extrude face is negative 0.1. Extrude face is negative 0.1. And extrude face, negative 0.1. Okay, so that's those panels. We can go ahead and do the floor as well. And make sure I still have individual checked, so I'm good. And extrude. That should be good there. Okay, and now for these side panels here, what we need to have happen is I'm going to go ahead and every other one is going to get selected like this. And then I'm going to go back to Inset, which I'm on. I'm still an individual. Perfect. And is great. 0.04 is great. And what I'm going to do now is let's go ahead and scale. Actually, we're going to individually select face, extrude inward, 0.1, negative 0.1, boom, boom, face, extrude, negative 0.1, and that should do it. Alright, let's get to the material part of this. So in object mode, I'm going to do boop, new material, and we want one that's very, 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 very metallic. And maybe a teeny bit gray. Very metallic. Roughness is going to be a 0.2. And then for the other color, we need, I'm going to go click off, new, we need a few colors. So we need an emission color, and these are more up to you. I was going to do this orangish color here, right? And I'm going to set that to a 50, and then we need a blue. Whoop, needs to be an emission. I was going to go more purplish, right about there, and a 50. Okay, also make sure that you set up the, not that either. Here we are, ambient oscillation and bloom. Okay, now let's go back into edit mode. And this is where, ooh, shiny. This is where we're going to start clicking on our items and giving them a color. So I'm going to click on that here and here. Here and here, I'm going to give, and this is going to be somewhat up to you, mine are going to be orange right there. Okay? And then up on top, here and here, mine are going to be this purplish color. And you can really start to see how our item is already taking kind of this space age look to town. Alright, and so now I'll go back into this. I'm clicking on the sides here. And I'm just going to do these top 3 sides. I'm not going to do the bottom panel because of where the camera's going to be at. Nope, don't want to do that. I should probably go to Okay, that's looking right. And I want these to be this purplish color. Okay, and then up here, I'm gonna have these be orange. Let's check out what I have so far. And so the lighting style is obviously going to be somewhat up to you. I might turn down the shininess on this just a bit. Yeah, so I think mine's a bit too shiny, so I'm just going to go up here and actually my roughness, 0.3 maybe a 0.4. I'm going to do 0.35 for mine. All right. That is looking good. All right, and now let's go ahead and head into object mode. Perfect. I'm going to zoom out some. And then we need to go ahead and do add empty plain access. And that's looking good. I'm going to go ahead and click back on my object here. And actually, we're going to need to go ahead, add mesh plane. And that plane is way too small. Let's do 8 by 8 by 8. And even that's a bit small, so we're going to do 12 by 12 by 12. 15 by 15 by 15 it is. All right. And we're going to now grab this. Oops, not that guy. Push this all the way back. And so -16. And then my empty will be at a -15. Now I'm going to just make sure I'm going to click back on my shape here, object, apply, location, rotation, and scale. All right, and then let's go to modifiers. And I'm going to go ahead and add an array modifier. And this is a bit different. We're going to do object offset, not a relative one. And hopefully if I pull out, yep, there it is. So let me go ahead and now do maybe at like 8. And I need to be on my empty and pull it this way. That's great. I'm going to go ahead and go through hiding this. And I'm going to do that by selecting this and then heading towards here and viewport display, wireframe, and wire. And that should make it so we won't see it in the rendered object, rendered item. Right, let's position the camera. So here's our camera. I'm going to go to view, sidebar, view, lock. Let's zoom out some. Okay, we can take a look at what that's like. That's pretty cool. And then what we're going to want to do now is set up keyframes. So I'm at 1. Right, I'm at 1. And I'm going to do add, object, animation, inset keyframe. And we're worried about the camera's location. Okay. And so what do I want to lock down? well, this is going to be what changes. So this value. And then 120, let's change this to. I'm going to go to 121. And then I'm going to do Object, Animation, Inset Keyframe. Oops. Should probably change this first. Object, Animation, Inset Keyframe, Location. And we can go ahead and test this out. Ooh, very space agey type. Cool. And now for the other part of this animation, first let me just hit boom. We're all set up here. Okay. For the other part, we're going to have the rotation be in effect. So grab this and let's go ahead. Object, Animation, Inset Keyframe, rotation is what we're worried about. And then let's say at 30. We're going to have at 30 keyframes a rotation of 25. Okay, and we can test this out. Wow, trippy. So if you want it less or more, it's kind of up to you. I'm going to now go out to all the way out to the 321 point and have it be, I'm going to have it slow down some, so I'm only going to move it to about 40. And now I'm going to go ahead and do Object, Animation, Inset Keyframe, Rotation. And you can see how it's kind of like a kaleidoscope twisting. And it looks like mine's not completely... And it just resets. So all we want to do now then is let's get out of this camera mode and let's head over to our... I'm going to go back to our modifiers right here. And if we increase this to 18, let's give that a shot. And we can still kind of get towards the end, so let's go up to 25 or 50. The more you do, the more taxing it will be on the computer. But depending on your machine, it should be fine. And you can really see now how it starts to look like the kaleidoscope. I need to set mine back just a little bit for the camera. So let's go ahead and do that. Z, and then where's my camera at start? So this is the issue here. I'm going to need it right on the edge. I'm going to make sure to click and unclick that. Let me test out how that looks. And I slowed it down towards the middle, remember? That's looking better. And then let me go to the end here, click on Z. Let me see, where's our camera? Here it is. And so just the same, we need it to go right on the edge. So that's probably a 13 at 121. Okay. And then let's go back. Camera mode, play. And you can start to see how we can really have fun with the lights and with things of that nature. If you want it to seamlessly be infinite, all you would have to do over here is set up so the rotation is complete by the end. So if I click on this, Let me see my frame points. So I think I had it 30 here. If I put it at 15 here, so maybe at, I'm going to do at 75. And we can kind of watch how it's going right now. At 75, I'm going to set it to 15. So let's go to my rotate tool. Let's click on this, rotate. And at 75, I would like it at 15. Let's make sure that's the total. Oh, we want this to be 15. So the Y is going to be 15 at 75, 74. I'm going to click that down. And then I'm going to go out to here. And what is it here? Well, I would like it to return to 0 by this point. And so I'm going to reset that at 0. Now, let's go into camera mode. Go ahead and go back to the start and hit play. And now it's a seamless infinite loop. And a cool little image. If you're still watching this, if this was helpful, make sure to hit like, make sure to hit subscribe. It gives me warm fuzzies. If you do something really cool, make sure to post about it below. I'd love to hear about it. So, ta-da!